Um, Now, the next speaker is Oscar myself, so I have to change to my own screen. And let me know if I have 1 minute left, then I will manage it. I teach this at the Montessori Lyceum Amsterdam and at the Breitner Academy. And for almost 30 years now, this is one of the first times I teach in English. Sorry for my way of presentation, but I really like to work with this wicked arts assignments. And I always think about this assignment somebody gave me at my kindergarten. And I think, well, the lowest mushroom is one of mine, I think should be, because I really hated this assignment. And I was curious at that age also why everybody has to do the same thing. So the whole thing is about how you can make your art assignment better and less boring. Um, Funny thing is that also at the university, I have the first year, we have for the first year students, we do a project together and they make about 300 assignments to try to make the art education more inspiring and more different and less boring. And it's called How to Kunst. Kunst is the Dutch word for art. This is the edition of 2019. And last year we did the next one. Oh, here is one. So it's a box and it's printed with, and they're all designed by students, printed with 300 cards. And I really love to work with the students on this assignment. And I get a lot of inspiration from it as well. So this is the box. And sometimes they use their own work to design assignment, but also sometimes they're inspired by a work of artists. For example, this is make a suit out of paper and pose. And this is make an application for an object. So this is an all, well, totally a load of assignments. And we hope that the students also take this with them when they're an intern on school or when they work for themselves. And it works quite well. And the funny thing is that some of the students also are in the book, on the Wicked Art assignment book, with some assignments they developed for our project. So it's all combined. And this year we have a real relationship with the Wicked Art Assignments book, because in January they present a small appendix which focus on 100 contemporary artists, and they design 100 Wicked Art assignments for this. So this is about half in January we want to add this at the Wicked Art Assignment book. Now, I have 2 assignments in this book, and I will focus on this one because this subject is engage. And actually, the right picture is my sign when there's a manifestation about the cry for culture. It was a big cut on all the money for culture in the Netherlands, and I try to use this assignment for my students at the high school, especially to dare to stand up for your opinion and vision. And I ask them often to show this in their artwork. Most of the time they found it very scary. So this is one of these, workouts to try this. I show them some, history of protest or engaged work, especially work with very graphical. I was, when I did research, I found some of the protests are artworks themselves. This is a beautiful protest, actually, in the year of my birth, 68. And I also think about Keith Haring, who's known with of his real nice drawings, but is very engaged. And I asked the students, is it still a strong protest when you remove the words? And this is the way I try to introduce the subject. I show them some works and they have to think, where is this a protest for? Where is this about? And this is a very important work of the Guerrilla Girls, but this is also a work without the words. Recently you have a lot of beautiful examples of protest in open space where art and protest are combined. And one of the greatest protests I ever saw, this is not the actually picture of that moment, but I found this on the internet, but it was a protest against literacy. And all the people standing on the street with empty cardboards, and it was very impressive, I think. This is the climate march together with my students, and maybe I started with the idea at this moment because I used a bamboo tree to protest myself. Well, I show you some of the results of my students. What I do is I show them first some results of the earlier years, and they have to think what the protest is about. Is it about freedom to think or find your own way in life? Or so they try to analyze what they see. For example, is this about against modern art or against borders? I do the 60-minute class. About 5 minutes they have time to think what really needs to change in the world, make a mind map. And I'm very strict that they have to choose something they want to stand up for and not something that everybody thinks about it's necessary. And for 10 minutes, they draw some sketches and think how to draw attention to it without words or recognizable image. And then 30 minutes, they work on the protest sign. And on 15 minutes, they protest on the street. This is from last week. And this is the class, and they explain each other what their subjects are and why they choose for these images. And maybe I found it could be nice if you try to find out what's the hidden message of all the students. For example, this one. What could this be? This is Lucas, and he says it's have to be more equal in the world of all in politics, but also the money. This is about against gender discrimination. This is a blue skirt she holds up. And what could this be? Actually, I didn't know, and they didn't want to tell me at advance, but afterwards they tell me it's they want a shelter for all the homeless, and this is they work together. Maybe this one is easier to find out. This is about Save the Planet. But you can really explain me what the best way is to save the planet from now on. Let me look at the time. Okay. This is also an issue that keeps the students very busy, is against the gender discrimination. This one is for this evening, I think, very important. She wants to protest to save the arts. She thinks this time of the history, it's very hard for the arts. So she wants to protest for the arts. This is for against fast fashion. And this is also very interesting because she's on the Montessori school, but she still thinks that we have to improve the school system. The system we use is old-fashioned, and yes, all these arrows is the teachers and all the system and the grades and all the things we try to use to develop them, but you want to be free and to find out their own way. This is also interesting because it's not a protest for the Netherlands, but for the US, about the prison policy in the US. And this is a hidden message. If you can look closer, you see some factories and it's stricter climate laws. The last one, she burned it actually in advance. She started in the class. I think it's a theme this evening. Everybody wants to burn things. And she started in the class, and some colleagues were very, well, not amused, like say that. Oh, sorry, this is the last one. And this is a protest sign against discrimination, Black Lives Matter. So I show you some protests. Oh, sorry. Let me try it again. So that was my presentation, and this is the hat I just ordered online for me and my colleague to try to protest, well, to make art class more contemporary again. Thank you so much. And I think we have some minutes left. Maybe now it's time to read some questions. And maybe nice work from your students. Do you give visual examples before they start? Yes, but I do it like really fast to see the different way they can work in. And also because they have not that much time, I show them some strong examples that they can work on. This is a great theme. Thank you so much. Well, if there is someone who just unmute and maybe have a question for me or one of the other presenters. Yeah, Gilde.
Yeah, so thank you very much for the presentation. I have one question. Oh, I have to speak to the microphone. I have one question about the idea of the protest, because how I understand protest, it's about being clear and about being, also being understood. And some of the signs, as you already told us, are not so easy to understand.
That's a very good question. Because some of the signs are maybe too clear or too cliche. I want them to think about the reason why they want to protest, and I really like the discussion and the discussion about it. And you have to discuss. If you see something you didn't understand, you have to ask, or you have to. So it's actually another way of protesting, maybe in dialogue and not one way. That's I think the idea about it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, so maybe it's some kind of affirmative conversational protest.
Yeah. Well, for example, because they do it in front of the school, a lot of students, they ask what this is about. And also when they show us in class, they have to ask each other where it's about. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. There was one more question. Lily, hi Lily. Do you talk about how to communicate with associations with shapes and colors? Yes, also because this is the first time we do this. And afterwards we have, the next lesson we have, well, a discussion about it, conversation about it. And I asked them which protest sign do really give you a strong impression of the importance of it. So I also talk about the strongly image they use. I think there is 1 minute left now. It's 30 seconds, so I'm just on time. And I